All right, so we're diving deep today into prepping for an animal osteopath interview.
Exciting stuff.
We've got all the RoleCatcher resources ready to go.
Yeah, their career guide.
The sample questions.
And of course, all those AI insights that RoleCatcher is known for.
So let's just jump right into those sample questions first up.
Okay.
What inspired you to become an animal osteopath?
Yeah, that's one that seems pretty simple, right?
Right. It seems simple.
But it's a chance to go a little deeper than just saying you love animals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to think about what specific experiences really kind of drew you to this path.
Totally. Like, was there a specific moment, maybe volunteering at a shelter
Oh, yeah.
and seeing an animal make an incredible recovery?
Yeah. Or maybe you shadowed a practitioner.
Yeah, and that solidified your decision.
They might even follow up with something like,
Okay,
what steps have you taken to pursue this career path?
that's a good one.
Yeah, so tell a story about your journey. Like, did an anatomy class just totally fascinating?
Yeah, or, any workshops you've taken, you can bring this to life.
Exactly. Don't just list them.
All right.
All right, let's move on to how you assess an animal's musculoskeletal system.
This is a technical one.
It is, but it's your chance to shine and show what you know.
Great. So tell the story about your process.
Yeah.
Like, start with that visual observation, noticing anything unusual in their posture,
Mm-hmm.
and then, palpation comes in. How do those muscles feel?
Right. Are they tense, or is there any heat or tenderness?
Exactly.
Don't forget the range of motion test.
Of course. And this is where RoleCatcher's AI can really help you fine-tune your answer.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Okay, so let's say the job description really emphasizes experience with equine athletes.
Okay.
The AI might suggest you highlight your expertise in gait analysis for horses.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, like how you've used that to identify subtle lameness issues.
So it's all about tailoring it to that specific job.
Exactly.
Okay, question number 4.
Right.
What's your experience working with different types of animals?
Oh, this one you could just list species, but how can we make that stand out?
You need a story.
Yes.
A story.
A memorable experience.
Yes. Maybe you had a challenging case with a really nervous chihuahua,
I can imagine.
or like a rescued parrot, and how you developed a really unique approach.
That's a great example.
Stories are powerful because they really show your skills in action.
Absolutely.
They might even follow up with something like, what are some of the key differences in treating different species?
Right, because you can't treat a parrot the same way you treat a horse.
Exactly, and this is where you really show off your knowledge of anatomy and behavior.
I see.
So you might mention like how a dog's spine differs from a cat's,
Oh, interesting.
or how a bird's skeletal structure influences your whole approach to treatment.
Okay, next up. How do you develop a treatment plan for an animal?
Okay, so this is all about your critical thinking skills.
Right, so walk them through your process.
So you gather all the information first, the vet's diagnosis,
Yeah.
the animal's history,
Hmm.
what the owner has observed.
Then you think about all the factors. How old is the animal? What's their lifestyle? Even their temperament.
Makes sense.
And then from there, you develop a plan that's tailored to that specific animal, making sure it aligns with what the vet recommends and the owner's goals.
And you've got to make sure to emphasize safety and ethical considerations.
Of course.
That builds trust.
Absolutely.
Now, this next one is really crucial. How do you communicate with animal owners about their pet's treatment plan?
Yeah, remember, you're treating the animal, but you're working with their family.
That's a good point.
So explain things really clearly and listen to their concerns.
Use language they understand.
Exactly.
Building that rapport is essential.
Definitely. They might even ask you how you would handle a situation if an owner disagreed with your recommended treatment plan.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It can be, but just stay calm and professional.
Easier said than done.
I know, right? But just explain your rationale, address their concerns,
Yeah.
and maybe explore alternative options that might align better with their perspective.
It's about finding that best path forward together.
Exactly.
This next one is interesting. How do you approach a difficult or aggressive animal during treatment?
This one is all about safety.
Right. So how do you prevent things from escalating?
Yeah, so you start by observing their body language. Are they stressed or scared?
Okay.
You might use gentle handling techniques, a calming voice,
Mm-hmm.
or even pheromone sprays to help them relax.
I was actually curious about those pheromone sprays. Can you explain what they are and how they work?
Sure, so pheromones are these natural chemicals that animals release to communicate.
Interesting.
And there are synthetic versions that can mimic calming signals
I see.
and that can help reduce anxiety and aggression.
Oh, wow.
They might even ask if you've ever had to refuse treatment because of safety concerns.
That's a good question.
Yeah, just be honest and transparent.
So briefly describe a situation and how you prioritized everyone's well-being.
Exactly. Like you could say in one instance, a dog was showing extreme aggression, despite our best efforts. So after talking with the owner and the vet,
Yeah.
we decided to postpone treatment until we could come up with a better behavior plan.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, next question. How do you stay up to date with the latest developments in animal osteopathy?
This is where you show that commitment to continuous learning.
Yeah, and go beyond just mentioning journals or conferences.
So highlight your proactive approach.
Right, so you could say, I'm a member of, and then name a professional organization.
Okay.
And talk about how you actively engage in discussions about new research and techniques.
Yeah, and maybe mention specific areas you're really passionate about.
Exactly. Like, I'm really interested in the latest advancements in canine rehabilitation therapies.
And I'm currently doing a webinar series.
Yeah, that's great.
Be specific.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually suggest relevant journals and organizations based on the job description.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so if the job emphasizes a certain animal group, the AI might say, hey, you should mention that you're a member of this specialized organization. That shows you've really done your research.
Exactly.
All right, on to question 8.
Okay.
How do you manage your time when working with multiple animal patients?
This is key,
Time management is essential.
especially in a hands-on field like this.
So think about how you prioritize cases, schedule appointments, and handle any surprises.
Right, because things come up.
All the time.
So maybe you use a scheduling software that helps you stay organized.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your answer and point out areas for improvement.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so maybe it suggests you emphasize how you make time for detailed record keeping
Right.
or how you prioritize urgent cases.
But without totally disrupting your schedule.
Exactly.
Good point. And don't forget about self-care.
Yes, self-care is so important.
Okay, last question from RoleCatcher's list.
Let's hear it.
Can you give an example of a challenging animal osteopathy case and how you approached it?
This is your time to shine.
It is. So choose a case that highlights your strengths,
Okay.
maybe a complex diagnosis or a new treatment you developed.
Right, and walk them through how you gathered information, what challenges you face.
And how you ultimately helped the animal.
And RoleCatcher can help you practice this answer too.
Really? How does that work?
Their AI can analyze video rehearsals and give you feedback on your delivery.
Wow.
It's like having a mock interview with an expert.
That's incredible.
So you go into that interview feeling confident and ready to showcase your skills.
I love it. So these questions from RoleCatcher are a great foundation,
Yeah.
but they're just a starting point.
Right.
Let's explore some potential follow-up questions and other insights to help you feel even more prepared.
So building on those core questions, the interviewer might ask something like, how would you approach working with an animal you've never treated before?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It really tests your ability to think on your feet.
Right, and adapt your knowledge.
Yeah.
You could say something like, I would first consult resources like veterinary journals,
Okay.
anatomical text specific to that species.
Right.
I'd also reach out to colleagues who have experience with that animal,
Makes sense.
just to gain some insights into their unique needs.
Yeah. And any potential challenges you might face.
Exactly.
It shows initiative and a commitment to providing the best possible care.
Definitely now, after discussing a challenging case,
I
they
see.
might ask, what did you learn from that experience and how has it shaped your approach to animal osteopathy?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, it's all about reflecting on your practice.
So what did you take away from that case?
Exactly. Maybe you learned how important clear communication with the owners is. Or maybe you discovered a new technique that you now use regularly.
It shows you're always learning and growing.
Right, and RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful in crafting these nuanced responses.
Oh, in what way?
Well, let's say the job description mentions a focus on geriatric animal care.
Okay.
The AI might suggest you highlight your experience with age-related conditions
I see.
and your ability to adapt treatments for senior patients.
So it's like a personalized coach
Hmm.
guiding you to the most relevant information.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about salary expectations.
Okay.
The interviewer is probably going to ask about your desired salary range.
Yeah, it can be a little nerve-wracking.
It can. But luckily, RoleCatcher's Career Guide has some good info.
Oh, tell me more.
It provides insights into typical salaries for animal osteopaths
Okay,
based on experience level, location, and specialization.
that's helpful.
Use that data as a starting point.
Right.
But don't be afraid to factor in your own unique skills and qualifications.
Yeah, and remember, it's not just about the salary. Right, think about the whole package.
Yeah, benefits, vacation time, professional development opportunities.
You could even ask about things like continuing education stipends or mentorship programs.
Those are good ones. It shows that they're invested in your growth.
Exactly. Now let's move beyond answering questions
Okay.
and talk about how you can engage with the interviewer.
Yeah, because an interview is a two-way street.
It is asking thoughtful questions, shows your interest, and helps you gather information. It's your chance to see if this role and this organization are a good fit.
RoleCatcher's Interview Guide has some great questions.
Like what?
Can you describe the team dynamics at the clinic?
That's a good one.
Or what are the opportunities for professional development?
I like that one too.
You could also personalize your questions based on your research.
Right. So if their website mentions a commitment to holistic animal care,
Yeah.
you could ask, how does the clinic integrate osteopathy with other modalities like acupuncture or physical therapy?
That shows you've done your homework.
And don't forget those practical questions.
About onboarding and support.
Exactly. Those show you're eager to learn and contribute.
Now let's talk about continuous learning and professional development.
This field is always evolving.
There's always new research, new techniques, new technologies.
It's not just about maintaining your skills.
It's about providing the best possible care.
And RoleCatcher's Career Guide highlights this.
Emphasizing conferences, professional organizations, advanced certifications.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually recommend specific ones for you.
Wow. How does that work?
So if you're really into equine osteopathy,
Okay.
the AI might suggest the International Symposium on Equine Osteopathy
Oh, cool.
or the Association of Equine Osteopaths.
So it's like a personalized career advisor.
Exactly.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about self-care,
This profession can be demanding.
both physically and emotionally.
You're dealing with animals in pain-concerned owners and new challenges all the time.
You've got to have strategies for managing stress.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher's Career Guide has some great advice.
Like what?
Setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care activities, seeking support from colleagues or mentors.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's touch on ethical considerations.
Okay.
As an animal osteopath, you're entrusted with the well-being of these animals.
That's a big responsibility.
And upholding ethical principles is crucial.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide emphasizes this.
Working within your scope of practice.
Respecting animal welfare.
Maintaining professional boundaries.
It's about advocating for what's best for the animal.
Even when it's tough.
Right, like having difficult conversations with owners or working closely with the vet.
You're demonstrating your commitment to responsible and compassionate care.
Even if these topics don't come up directly in the interview.
It shows the values you'll bring to this profession.
And how you'll interact with both the animals and their families.
Now let's move on to the final part of our deep dive.
Okay.
And explore how you can connect your passion for animal welfare to your practice.
That's good.
And make a lasting impact on the lives of the animals in your care and beyond.
All right, so we've talked about those tough interview questions, the career landscape.
Yeah, but now let's focus on something really special.
Okay.
How you can bring your passion for animal welfare into your practice.
Yeah, and make a real difference in the lives of these animals.
This is something that really speaks to people in this field.
It does. It's not just about treating symptoms. It's about advocating for their well-being.
And the RoleCatcher Career Guide mentions how some osteopaths choose to specialize.
Oh yeah, like focusing on specific species or areas within the field.
Right. Maybe you love working with rescue animals. Or you're really interested in rehab therapies for older pets.
Those are great examples, and you don't have to specialize to make a difference.
That's true.
You could volunteer at shelters or wildlife rehab centers.
Yeah, use your skills to help animals who might not otherwise have access to this care.
Exactly. You could even partner with organizations that promote animal welfare.
Oh, yeah. Or advocate for animal rights.
Right. Your voice and expertise can raise awareness about these important issues.
It's about being a voice for those who can't speak for themselves.
And it goes beyond just words.
What do you mean?
You can lead by example, showing compassion and respect for all animals, even in your daily life.
Yeah, your actions and choices can inspire others.
And create a ripple effect of positive change.
That's a powerful thought. So as we wrap up this deep dive, remember the power of combining your knowledge, your skills, and your passion.
You're not just entering a profession, you're starting a journey.
A journey where you can make a difference.
Every treatment, every interaction, every decision is a chance to advocate for their well-being.
And create a more compassionate world.
Exactly.
It's been great diving into this with you.
Likewise.
And to everyone listening, this is just the beginning.
Keep learning, keep growing, keep advocating for the animals who need you.
You've got this